morning, traders. Welcome to today's Outlier Live, where we cover the biggest news stories of the day and what the AI trading data has to say about it. Our first story of the day, Tesla has a huge problem on its hands. I don't know what they're going to do about it, but we'll learn together. Next, the FCC, they are literally gunning for Elon Musk. Elon cannot catch a break anymore these days. And lastly, our third story of the day, if you think inflation is better, you got another thing coming for you, buddy. Let's talk about that and more on today's Outlier Live. All right, so quick disclaimer. I am absolutely a Tesla owner. I love my Model Y. I drive that thing as much as I possibly can. I've owned it since May and we've put on 14,000 miles. So we're pushing, I don't know, like 2,000 miles a month on that thing. And I work from home. So I am driving that dude as much as I possibly can. But Tesla is actually having a little bit of an issue today. Tesla recalls 2 million vehicles to limit the use of autopilot features after nearly 1,000 crashes. Now, I love autopilot. I probably overuse autopilot, to be honest. I mean, literally, and I have the basic autopilot. I don't have the enhanced and I don't have the full self-driving. But every time I'm going down the road, it is so easy to just go click, click on my Model Y stock there, and it just drives. It just drives. It takes me where I want to go. It stays in the lane. It goes around the curves. It speeds up and slows down based on the traffic. In fact, if you're driving on the highway, you can get in the fast lane, set it on whatever speed you want. Let's say, for example, 80. I would never break the speed limit, but that's up to you. You set it at 80, and then as cars come in front of you, it slows down. As cars get out of your way, it speeds up. And you don't even have to switch lanes like ever as you're driving down the highway. So driving in a Tesla is actually pretty freaking sweet. And on top of that, like, it is so smooth. I love it. It goes at the speed at which you think a car should go, right? And I keep mine in chill mode. I have the Model Y Performance and it is fast as freak. Okay. Like 3.5 seconds, 0 to 60. It is entirely too fast. So I put it in chill mode, and that chill mode is so smooth. It's like exactly as fast as you want to be, where you want to be, it's there. Whereas my wife, she drives a big Lexus XUV, and while it's nice and it's beautiful, it's like a dinosaur. But one of the things that dinosaurs cannot do is fix these issues for 2 million vehicles while they're still parked in the garage. Now, I've actually had my Tesla serviced once before, and the Tesla service member drove to my house in a Model S, got his tools out of his car, fixed my car in the garage, and then left. That was really sweet. But this autopilot problem that they're going to have a recall on, they're basically going to fix it without lifting a finger. They're going to go in their computers, they're going to type up some code, they're going to press the send button, and it's going to go straight to the car. And it's going to be fixed just like that. It's going to be fixed without the Tesla owners even knowing there was an issue. Now, if only all cars could do this, right? If only all cars could take this sort of technology, it's 2023. We already have automakers doing it today. There's no excuse that the other ones can't figure out how to do this too. Or maybe they just don't want to. Maybe they're scared of the future. Maybe they got all these rules. Maybe they got all this historical precedent. Maybe they got all this bureaucratic mumbo jumbo within their companies that won't let them have this sort of innovation. But this is the reason why Tesla cars will take over the world. Like the Cybertruck that just came out. I believe there's over 1.2 million pre-orders. My son and I were talking about this today. I love the Cybertruck. At first, a few years ago when it first came out, I'm like, I don't know about that. But it's grown on me. And now that they're releasing them, I'm like, I want to get a Cybertruck. This is cool. And I was talking to my son. I'm like, listen, at this point, having owned a Tesla, I don't think I'm ever going to get anything else. I think I will continue to drive Teslas forever. The experience of owning a Tesla is unlike anything else that I've ever experienced. And especially when there is an update that's going to hit 2 million vehicles with a click of a button. And I don't have to take it to a Tesla shop. I don't have to take it to a Tesla dealer. I don't have to do anything. And my car is now better off because of it. My car is now safer because of it. This is the future. Every other automaker, look what Tesla is doing. Copy this. Because if you don't, you're not going to have a company anymore. Every other company is a decade behind Tesla at this point. And even though the interiors are not as luxurious as others, of course, I could have spent the same amount of money and had a much more luxurious car. I totally believe that. The ownership experience, the driving experience, the refueling experience. I just plug my phone in every night and I plug in my car every night. No big deal. And then when I'm out and about, I honestly was nervous to do supercharging. But rolling up to a supercharger, plugging it in, running inside, grabbing a drink, using the restroom, coming back out, and I've got 30% more battery than when I left. The supercharging experience is pretty awesome as well. So I am a huge advocate of the whole Tesla ecosystem here. Hey, and I'm also Christopher Yule. And if you enjoy learning about the biggest headlines of the day, what the AI trading data has to say about these companies, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and start trading with AI today with the world's best AI stock trading assistant. Head to ovtlyr.com to see why outliers win. So there's not much in this article other than it goes on and on about how everybody thinks that Tesla is garbage now because Elon Musk is like public enemy number one. And this is all left-wing propaganda these days with Teslas. I love to watch all kinds of different videos, and there's this one channel that I watch, and they used to be huge advocates for Teslas and electric vehicles, how they're saving the planet and green and all this crap, and they even had Teslas, but then the woke mind virus hit them, and now they're going on saying how Tesla's not even the best electric car anymore, and I'm like, are you serious? Give me a break. Show me any car that's better than this just basic Model 3 that's on the screen right now. Show me any car that can outdo what anything that Tesla puts out can do. Any electric car, nothing comes close. In fact, all the other electric car makers are pulling back on their investments, all the other electric car makers are pulling back on their investments in the electric car growth areas because they can't make any money. People are voting with their wallet and saying, we don't want any electric car. We don't want a Ford electric piece of crap. We don't want a Ford truck that can't do anything. We don't want a Rivian. We don't want a GM Bolt, a Chevy Bolt. Have you seen those? Nobody wants those. If they want an electric car, they want a Tesla. And it's plainly obvious that that is the case. You know what else is obvious? That we've got some pretty awesome signals within the AI trading data here. So let's take a look at it. This is for Tesla. And in fact, we got a sell signal on November 27th. So if you are an investor in Tesla, now may be the time to just take your money off the table, enjoy some profits on the meantime, because you probably do have some profits because holding these signal returns that we provide every single day actually has a 246.25% return. That is outstanding, 246.25% returns. So if you want to get your hands on these outstanding signals, head to ovtlyr.com to start trading with the world's best AI stock trading assistant. So let's go see what the internet says about this, right? Major recall alert. Tesla says more than 2 million vehicles need a software update to fix a defective autopilot monitoring program. My car is included in this. But you know what? It's an over-the-air update, so this person's right on the money. So no big deal at all, right? Yeah, that's the thing. That's why Tesla is dominating the entire auto industry. Elon Musk is basically public enemy number one these days, or at least that's what it feels like, because every time you turn around, there's a news story about how Elon Musk is anti-Semitic. Elon Musk is anti-this. Elon Musk is the worst person in the world. Elon Musk is a racist. Elon Musk is so bad. Elon Musk has become public enemy number one because Elon Musk believes in conservative principles, right? This is not a political news show, but a lot of times there's a lot of overlap between what we talk about. And this is one in particular. The FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, is accused of targeting Elon Musk with regulatory harassment. So the government, who at one point could put out anything they wanted on any social media platform, the government could suppress anything they wanted on any social media platform. Elon Musk comes in and buys Twitter. The Twitter files come out. All these details come out about how the government would specifically target users. the government would specifically suppress stories. The government was trying to make sure that you only knew what you were supposed to know. And Elon Musk was the man who let that all come to light. We should be grateful for Elon for exposing the government doing this kind of harassment. And listen, if they come after me, please don't let them come after me. I don't want them to come after me next. But I'm not one of the richest men in the world like Elon Musk, so I don't think I have to worry about that too much. The FCC is accused of targeting Elon Musk in regulatory harassment campaigns. Elon Musk, the CEO and founder of SpaceX, has faced yet another setback as the US FCC has decided to deny Starlink $885 million in subsidies. This decision comes after the agency reaffirmed their previous ruling, which has led the FCC commissioner, Mr. Carr, which we're going to be talking about him as we go. So the FCC commissioner is Mr. Carr, to accuse the agency of partaking in regulatory harassment against Elon. So Elon was getting subsidies to do the government's work of providing more communication to people with Starlink. Starlink is the satellite-based internet, and they had $885 million in subsidies from the government lined up, and the FCC revoked it. The FCC went out and said, no, you know what? We don't think you need $885 million of government funding to do this, right? I mean, you're Elon. You're a bad guy now. We don't want this. In fact, have you actually ever seen Starlink? I was out camping with my son at a Boy Scout camp out, and we're all sitting around the fire, and one of the dads pointed up and he goes, whoa, look at that. And it was this trail of satellites. It was like a train. Imagine a train in your mind of satellites, right? One after another, just zooming across the sky. And it looked like just stars in a row. It was so cool. I'd never seen that before. But it's something cool like that that's circling the globe, that's providing internet to millions of people. And the FCC is saying, nah, brah, your political persuasions are way too conservative, and we don't think that people need internet because we don't like you. Give me a break, right? In a dissenting statement, Mr. Carr expressed his concerns, claiming that the FCC's decision was unwarranted and unjustified. He further implied that the agency's actions may be politically motivated, pointing to Musk's acquisition of Twitter and his use of the platform to voice his personal views. So what they're saying is, if you have dissenting political views from the message, from the party, from those in charge, we're going to do everything we can to eliminate your success. We're going to do everything we can to eliminate your ability to create amazing products, to help people, to give people in rural communities who don't have access to Wi-Fi or any kind of fast internet speeds, any sort of broadband, a way to get that. Do you realize how sick this is? They're trying to keep people out of the 21st century. They're trying to keep people in the dark, probably because they know that these people are going to go into Twitter and they're going to see just how janky the US government is acting, just how messed up the government's acting when somebody like Elon comes along and tries to fix a broken system that the United States government has let happen. So I'm not at all happy about this. But hey, if you're just tuning in, my name is Christopher Yule. We cover the biggest headlines of the day and what the AI trading data has to say about it. And if you're interested in that too, be sure to definitely hit the subscribe button down below and start trading with the world's best AI stock trading assistant. Head to ovtlyr.com to see why outliers win. Now let's go take a look at what the AI trading data has to say about T-Mobile. You know, Starlink doesn't have any stock right now, so we can't really talk about that, but we can talk about T-Mobile. T-Mobile could benefit from this, right? I don't know. Listen, this is conspiracy theory brain talking here. I don't know if somebody owns T-Mobile and they're trying to shut down Starlink in order to get more people onto T-Mobile. But I do know one thing. We got a sell signal back on November 17th. And if you've been following these buy and sell signals, you actually would have seen a 71.53% return just on TMUS here, just on T-Mobile. So if you're interested in getting your hands on these AI stock trading signals and trading with the world's best AI stock trading assistant, head to ovtlyr.com to see why outliers win. Now let's go see what the internet says about this, right? The FCC commissioner accuses the White House and other government agencies of targeting Elon Musk. Oh man, it's ugly, right? Let's see what people are saying. This has been true for a while. It's now clearer than ever that the DOJ and SEC have a political agenda against Elon and are trying to sabotage all of his companies. And that's what I mean, right? At one point, Teslas were the greatest cars in the world. At one point, Teslas were renowned as being the savior of the auto industry. But now, President Biden invites all the other automakers to the White House, but they specifically exclude Tesla. Really? Really? Oh, it's such a joke, right? Let's see what else here. Hey, Biden, Elon has a message for you. Well, the president invites, there it is, the EV makers to DC and doesn't invite Tesla, then declares GM to be the #1 EV company in the world. They make about 13 cars and they lose money on all of them. And it's pretty clear there's an agenda. Public servants, yeah, sure. It's disgraceful. It absolutely is disgraceful. I can't believe that they treat Elon this way when, if it weren't for his political leanings, he would go down as one of the most important characters of our entire lifetime, and maybe even one of the most important characters in the entire world. I am over this. I am so freaking over the fact that the mainstream media wants to tell you that inflation is going away. Inflation is gone. Inflation's coming down. And listen, it no longer outweighs Americans' wages. What are you guys complaining about? You should have so much more money now. Inflation's come down. I am so sick of this. Why am I sick of this? Because of this chart right here. In fact, let's blow this up. I'm sick of it because of this chart right here. They want to tell you that inflation is all awesome now. It's showing at 3.1%. Let's keep in mind, this is 3.1% over and above what it was a year ago. So last November, it was 6.8%. And it peaked in May of 22 or June of 22 at 9.1%. So they want to tell you that inflation is coming down. They want to tell you that inflation is fine. They want to tell you, they want to gaslight you. They want to tell you that inflation is not a big deal. What are you complaining about? The problem here is reflective in this chart. The problem here is the fact that people remember going to the grocery store and spending 30, 40, 50% less to get the same groceries. My wife saw this article the other day, and it was somebody who uses a grocery delivery service, and it had the price of one item in 2019 and the price of the exact same item today, 2023. So many of them were double, 100% higher. That's not 3%. That's not saying your ground beef, your 1 pound of ground beef went from $3 to $3.09. No, it went from $3 to $6, right? And that's across the board in everything, everywhere. And if it hasn't gone up that much in price, the size has come down with shrinkflation. So they may have only raised the price by 20%, but they've also cut back on the supply of it by 20%, which, listen, that may help all of us Americans, maybe cut back a little bit of the calories consumed, but it's not helping at the end of the day with their pocketbooks. And this is something this is my soapbox right now. I am sick and tired of people trying to say inflation is better. Inflation's under control. Inflation's good to go. When you and I both know the last time you bought groceries, you paid a hell of a lot more than you did just a few years ago. The problem here is that people have a memory. People can remember this, right? If prices today were the prices that they had always been, there wouldn't really be that much to complain about because that's just how prices are. But when you look at the prices over the last few years, which we can all remember, paying less for everything, they continue to lie to you and tell you that inflation's come down. Inflation's good to go. Quit whining about it. Inflation remains above what the Fed would like to see, and steady but still growing prices, continue to put pressure on consumers. We're talking, if it was 9% a year ago and 3% now, that doesn't mean inflation's come down. That doesn't mean prices have come down. It means prices are 3% higher than they were when they were 9% higher from the year prior. That's what that means. Hang on, Joe Biden had a statement in here that I wanted to read. Yeah, here we go. So I'm gonna do my very best Joe Biden impression here. Let's see how this goes. Inflation has come down while employment has remained above or below 4%, or Ukraine for the longest stretch. We need to give Ukraine as much money as possible, which means that workers' wages and household wealth are higher now than they were before the. What time is it? I need to go take a nap real quick, right as soon as we're done here. Wages higher than inflation before pandemic, adjusted for inflation. Has anybody seen my son's laptop? Prices have declined for a number of products over the last year, from cars to gas to TV, toys, appliances, eggs, milk, and definitely laptops. Americans still find things mainly too unaffordable. Yeah, we know. Okay. All right, Grandpa, let's just move on. Okay. We don't need you in charge anymore. 4 more years of this is going to be ridiculous. But what else is ridiculous is the fact that inflation is a huge problem. And while the percentage increase has declined, prices are still elevated. Prices are still ultra high. Prices are still causing a problem for so many people. And in fact, we just covered a story about this earlier this week, that a lot of people are joining the labor market. People are getting additional jobs. And the Biden administration wants to say that this is a huge victory, that people are working more than one job, right? The unemployment numbers have come down. The number of jobs created has gone up. But what they don't tell you is that so many of these people are getting second and third jobs because of the inflation that's rampant and out of control. Fix the problem, then things will be looking better. Speaking of looking better, let's take a look at Costco. Listen, every time I go into Costco, I spend way too much money. In fact, there was one time I went to Costco to get paper towels. Paper towels. That's all I was going to get, paper towels. They come in like a million pack of paper towels from Costco, I'm sure you know. And I was ready to spend $30, right? $30 on paper towels. That'll last me for a year, and I leave. 2 hours, $350, an entire trunk worth of things later, I got my paper towels and probably 3 of everything else in the store. Costco just gets you in and then takes all of your money at the same time, right? But if we're taking a look at the AI trading signals here, we got a buy signal on November 10th for Costco. And if you've been using these AI trading signals, you'd have seen a signal return of 169.59%. Now that is outstanding. So if you want to get your hands on these outstanding trading signals and start trading with the world's best AI stock trading assistant, head to ovtlyr.com to see what outliers win. Now let's go see what the internet says about this, right? This is kind of what set me off, right? The legacy media is now trying to make people believe that inflation is no longer outweighing wages. Inflation is still up. Unless your income is up 30% since 2021, odds are you're way behind versus inflation. I don't know whose income is up 30% since 2021. And CPI is notoriously wrong about actual inflation. The government has been proven to manipulate the data in order to underreport actual inflation in the economy. Yeah, this person says, what inflation? And this is ground beef, right? The package of ground beef costs the same as last month. It's, this big. Actual inflation cannot be quantified by the Fed. Imagine asking people that they had their home for the last 30 years, how much they would rent it out for. I'm sure you're going to get severely skewed metrics, but hey, shouldn't you ask the questions? Inflation is a compounding effect. Even if it comes down, the damage was already done. That's what I've been saying all along. And people are waking up to it, but they don't completely understand that when inflation goes up 2%, 9%, 3%, that's stacking the price. That doesn't mean prices have started to come down yet, right? Even if it comes down, the damage is already done. I'm sorry, not trying to be alarmist at all, but I really don't see prices coming down except for a few cents at the gas pump. All the bills and food prices are high. Nobody is lowering prices that I can see. Is he wrong? Well, let me know in the comments down below. Is he wrong? And go ahead and click one of these 2 videos. So the YouTube algorithm knows exactly what you're going to like, and it's suggesting you one of these 2 videos. I would definitely click to watch more. And thank you so much for tuning into today's Outlier Live. Have a fantastic week, and we'll talk soon.